Labor Day.
The connection between May Day and the workers of the world began in the United States during the 19th century. At that time, workers worked days of up to 18 hours, often in inhumane conditions. History began to change in 1884 with the American workers' demand for 8 hours of work, 8 hours of sleep, and 8 hours of leisure. International Workers' Day celebrates May Day in 1886, a date that marked a turning point in the history of the organized labor movement. That day, American workers began a widespread strike demanding an 8-hour workday. The peaceful demonstrations continued until May 4th, when violence finally erupted during the so-called Haymarket riot. The incident ended with the execution of a group of anarchist unionists, who from then on went down in history as the Chicago Martyrs. In Great Britain, workers' protests had begun toward the end of the 18th century, with demonstrations against the terrible working conditions of the Industrial Revolution. In the United States, after decades of protests, President Andrew Johnson enacted the 8-hour workday into law in 1868. However, the law generated fierce resistance among employers, who in many cases ignored the law or took years to comply. On May 1, 1886, in a context of uncertainty and violated rights, 80,000 Chicago workers began a strike that spread across the United States. In the following days, nearly 500,000 workers joined the protest through 5,000 simultaneous strikes. Faced with what was considered the beginning of an anarchist revolution, the government responded forcefully. After several episodes of police repression, in which workers were injured and even killed, a demonstration was called in Haymarket Square. There, a never-identified individual threw a firebomb at the police line, killing 7 officers and 8 civilians. That day went down in history as the Haymarket Square riot and unleashed a national wave of repression against workers. In June of that year, a controversial trial began for 31 workers accused of promoting the revolt. The following month, 8 men labeled anarchists were convicted without solid evidence. 5 of them received the death sentence. In 1889, a Congress of the Second International, which brought together socialist, labor, and anarchist parties from around the world in Paris, honored the Chicago Martyrs. In their honor, May 1st was established as Labor Day.
How much do you know about Labor Day in the US?
Labor Day always falls on which day of the week? Monday. This man is credited as the founder of Labor Day. Peter J. McGuire. The first Labor Day was celebrated on September 5th, 1882. Where was the first Labor Day parade held in 1882? York City. Which state was the first to recognize Labor Day as an official holiday in 1887? Oregon. Unofficially, Labor Day is also known as what? End of summer. Which color is associated with Labor Day according to Victorian tradition? White. This union was responsible for organizing the first Labor Day parade. Central Labor Union. In what year did Labor Day become a federal holiday? (1894). Which president signed a bill making Labor Day a federal holiday? Grover Cleveland. Bonus! Which of these countries also celebrates Labor Day in September? Canada. Good job. See you in the next video.